Hello, dreamers. So, today I want to talk about lucid dreaming. Yes, lucid dreaming. As you've noticed, the name of my channel is Dream Girl Spirituality. The reason why I started this channel is because I'm an avid dreamer. I have very vivid dreams, prophetic dreams, lucid dreams. Also, I experience sleep paralysis, right? Which I've learned how to turn into astral projection. If you go way back to the beginning of my videos, I talk a little bit about that. But today, I want to focus on lucid dreaming. So what is lucid dreaming? What is lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is when you are dreaming, but you become conscious in your dream. So it's like how we are now. Imagine you go to sleep at night and you wake up and you open your eyes and you're conscious. You're like, okay, it's time for me to go to work. Whatever the case may be, right? You're aware. It happens in your dream state too. A lot of us experience lucid dreaming. It's like we get into our dreams, something clicks. Oh my goodness, I'm dreaming. For me, I instantly know I can do whatever it is that I want to do. I can learn whatever it is I want to learn. I can travel wherever I want to travel throughout my lucid dreaming. I would suggest when lucid dreaming, right? Before going into your lucid dream, figure out what you want to do, where you want to go, what's your goal. Because when you're in it, I feel like it's only a limited amount of time and you take up some of your time trying to think about what you want to do, right? So it's kind of interesting. Like, you want to make sure you already have your goals set, because I'm telling you, time flies throughout your lucid dreaming, right? You can be in your lucid dreaming for hours on the outside, but inside it can seem like 10, 15 minutes possibly, or even less, sometimes 5 minutes, right? So you want to make sure you have a goal as to where you want to go when you're lucid dreaming. For me, before I go to sleep, if I want a lucid dream, I'll say, I want a lucid dream. That's my intention. And then I'll be lucid while I'm dreaming. Sometimes it could take 2 days, right? But more than likely, it'll take that night. If I say I want a lucid dream that night, I lucid dream, right? But you always want to make sure you have a goal in mind. Otherwise, it's taking up most of your time, because it's like there's a vast amount of possibilities. It's unlimited. You can do pretty much anything. I've traveled to different planets. I've seen other beings. Sometimes I didn't want to see the other beings, so I kept close my eyes because I could feel the energy and I know it wasn't good. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. Wake me up. Just too much. I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready, right? So you want to make sure you have a goal in mind. So when you become aware in your dream, right, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm lucid. Hey, I can fly if I want to. Hey, flying, right? Most of the time, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, it's so difficult to fly for me in my dreams. Like, I've flown, but for like short distances. I'm more so run, build up momentum, and imagine like Superman, you know? I mean, not Superman, but Spider-Man. Something like that, right? Where he runs, builds up momentum, boom, and and just fly from building to building. I can do that in my lucid dream. Somewhat like the Matrix. I never really thought about that. It's something like the Matrix. You know how they can jump from building to building? They can transport through portals. I can do all that in lucid dreaming. So how do you travel from one space to another in lucid dreaming? Say, for instance, you're like, I want to go to another planet, right? How do you get to this other planet? This is how. Through a portal. You create the portal. Anything that you think up in your dream can appear. Like, if you want to see, like, I've brought my grandmother in, my grandfather. Like, if you want to see people that are passed over, you can bring them into your dream. Like, once I was like, okay, I want my grandma to come, and the next car that rolled by is going to be her. And it wasn't her. And I was like, what the heck? Then I remember, wait a minute. I'm on the street where I grew up. Let me go inside the house. Boom, I'll go inside the house. I'm like, oh, I don't have a key. I was like, damn, lucid. Pull the key out my pocket, open the door, and they're in there, right? So you think up things that you want to happen, right? So say for instance you want to travel. You build a portal. Sometimes you may be, okay, so it's interesting because sometimes you can be dreaming, right? And it's already a setting. So the setting may be an old house you lived in, or it could be anything, places you've never even seen before, right? If that setting already has like a window, a mirror, or a door, it's perfect already. It's perfect. You can use either one of those things to travel from one space to another. So say for instance, if I say I want to go to Jamaica, right? I'm not in Jamaica. The setting is not already Jamaica, so I want to go to Jamaica. What I will do is I will climb through the window, and in my intention, when I'm on the other side of the window, I'm in Jamaica. Or if it's a mirror, right? If it's a mirror, you can jump through this mirror. It may seem funny, like if you've watched The Matrix, you see like they have this little bitty mirror, right? And they're like, how are we gonna get through there? And they're like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what they said, but they're basically like, you can do it, right? And you can, because I've traveled through small windows. Like one time, I was trying to see my past lives, right? And I was trying to conjure up a mirror because there was no doors, no windows anywhere in my setting that I already was in. So I was like, I need something to travel. Okay, give me a mirror. He gave me this little small mirror. Like little small. But I was able to utilize it. All you do is just, you build up that mental and you jump through, and then on the other side you get there, right? So you can travel through windows, doors. Doors is a really good one, because you can say on the other side of this door, I'm going to get to my destination. You open the door, you go in, you shut it, boom, and you there. You there. That's how you travel throughout your lucid dream. Some people may be able to travel just by, saying I close my eyes, and when I open my eyes, I'm in somewhere new, right? But me, I like to travel through portals, like windows and doors and things like that. That's just how I've been doing it, right? So it's very, very interesting. Another thing I want to point out, when you're lucid dreaming, you have to be careful, because you can encounter some energies that you're not so familiar with, right? And I'm not saying this to scare you. No. Because you are always in control. Remember, you're conscious, so you're in control. If you want to wake up, you can wake up, right? A lot of times I don't want to wake up. I just want to leave that space and then go to another space. Sometimes you can find yourself into some sticky situations. Let's just say that. Some sticky situations, right? So make sure that, this is something that you truly want. Like when you're visiting other planets and stuff, you don't know what energies they're going to bring. You don't know. You don't know. You really, truly do not know what energies they're going to bring. You don't know what type of beings these are. Some of them have such a, ooh. And it's funny, and it's interesting because luckily I'm able to read energies, right? Like I can feel the energy before I even see them. Like it's crazy. Like you could just feel it before they even show up, right? Like once I said I want to go to another planet, right? So I get to this other planet and it's a big steel door, right? But then I start getting this feeling like, like it was just so dark. So it was just, I can't explain it. I can only remember how it feels. It just felt so dark and demented. Like you know how some people can feel like evil, but it's like basic level evil, like, like whatever, going on with your whatever, like with your little petty games or whatever the case may be. This was like something much more stronger. Like it was just a dominant energy that just was like bad. So I was like, oh heck, like I was like, oh heck no, wake me up. Like the metal door was opening and they were about to like be revealed because they was like on the other side. I was like, oh no, wake me up. I was like, and then I woke myself up like, oh heck no. And I realized like you gotta be careful when you're lucid dreaming, because not every energy that you encounter is gonna be good. That's just like in the real world. every person that you encounter is not good. You know what I mean? You have some evil people out there. You got some good people, you got some bad people. It's just the way it is. You got some empathic people, you got some desensitized people. It's just life. It's life, right? You have the good and the bad. So be careful. But there are some other planets that are quite interesting, right? I remember going to another planet and they were like breeding babies, but okay, so it was like this, it was like, if you know the Sagittarius, it was like a half man, half horse. He was running the whole show on this planet. It was a centaur. A centaur was running the whole show. And this centaur was in control of these like humanoid beings. I want to say humanoid because they really wasn't like human like us, but they was humanoid, if that makes sense, right? And it was this room, and it was like they were breeding babies in that room, but it was like women, and they were like, it was weird. It was weird. It was weird, the whole setup. It was nice though, like you could tell it was like kind of an advanced species, but for some reason they had these women in these all white cloths. They were just like in all white, and they were like pregnant. Some were like, you know, getting ready to have babies, right? Some already had babies, but they were all like in this room. I don't know what was going on. The centaur was just showing me around, like to different areas of, you know, their planet, right? I'm guessing the most important aspects of the planet. And I guess he wanted to show me the breeding ground of the planet and how they breed, you know, their humanoid species. It was kind of deep. It was kind of deep. But it's a lot. I've traveled to the past. I've met my great-great-great-great-grandma. And it's funny because when you're in a lucid dream, you would think you go as you and they know that you're different, but no. You go as you. I feel like you go as you in that time period. So say for instance, I wanted to see my great-great-great-great-grandma, right? So I think I jumped through the window on the other side, boom, I land inside this house. It was it was a small house, right? A very small house. And like you walk in, you could tell it was back in the day because they didn't have no lights. They only had candles, but it was well lit, right? You could see everything. Candles worked wonders then. Trust me, right? So I go in and I go into the kitchen and it was a woman, right? She was like the grandma, I believe. And she was cooking and she had a daughter and she had a little girl. And the little girl the daughter was young. She looked like a teenager. But this teenager had a little girl that was like 5-6 years old, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, she was cooking. She was stirring the pot in the kitchen, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is your name? And she said, girl, if you don't get up out my kitchen. I'm like, I just want to know. And I was asking the little girl, like, what's her name? And she started laughing. You're so silly. Like, because they thought, like, I was me. I didn't know who I was, but they thought I was tripping, right? So me asking questions, anytime I'm asking questions in the lucid dream, they're like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Let me check your temperature. You sure? So when you're in these lucid states, 9 out of 10, you're who you used to be. Especially if you're traveling in the past. You're who you used to be in that era. And that's why and also, when I try to see my past lives, listen, you guys, it's an infinite amount of number. It's so infinite. It's crazy. It's like, it's endless. It's endless. I went so far to go see my past life. I went so deep, I got scared. I couldn't go any further. And I probably already seen hundreds of thousands. Because they were just like, like sex, just everywhere. And I was going down this deep, deep hole. And I felt if I went too far, I wouldn't be able to come back. Like, it's deep. So You've lived so many lives. Contrary to popular belief, you've lived a lot of lives. You yourself lived a lot of lives. And it's like, when you really think of it, there's really no past, there's really no present. There's only present. There's really no past or a future. Like, who's to say the past isn't really our future? We think we've already been through that, but we technically haven't, because we're only in the present. So if we haven't been through that, we more than likely are going to go through that. And that's why history repeats itself. Nothing is new under the sun. It's all a cycle. It's no like linear type of, time is not linear. Time is not linear. And it's seen in your clock. That's not linear. That's going around in a circle, a cycle. Think about it. It's like your past lives, you probably haven't even lived them yet. Lucid dreaming is interesting. A lot of people have created, like, invented new things, through lucid dreaming. A lot of great ideas come from lucid dreaming, right? I recently had an experience with my lucid dream the other day. I'm just going to share this. I feel like it's very important, even though I'm kind of ashamed of it. In my lucid dreams, I like to do stuff I don't have no business doing, right? And it was like this force came into my lucid dream. And it never happened to me before. Never. I'm not even going to lie to you. It never happened to me before. And this force came into my lucid dream and told me, your ancestors will be so disappointed that you're using your gift in this manner. I was like, like, they was tired of my shit. Me not utilizing my lucid dreams in the manner in which I can use it. And it kind of just like rang true to me. Like, it really touched me. Like, I felt bad in a sense. I felt bad. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start using it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so many things that you can do. Like, you got to have a goal before you go in. Just have your goal. If you want to create a new invention or know how to make a certain kind of car, or how to advance for the future, how to advance things for the future, how to advance technology, go in with that intention. You know what I mean? Go in with that intention. So, you guys, all of you are capable of lucid dreaming. Everyone, I believe, For me, I've just done it for so long that it's easy for me to become lucid, right? Some of you may take practice. Some of you may not even dream, right? If you're not dreaming, then that should be your intention, to dream and to remember your dreams. Because maybe you're dreaming, you're just not remembering. So maybe that should be your intention. Start with small intentions, like, I'm going to remember my dream. If you don't do it that night, do it the next night, next night. Until you remember, because you will. You will. You got to start small, right? And if you want to become lucid, just every night set that intention, like, I'm going to be conscious in my dream. I'm going to be lucid. I'm going to realize that I'm in my dream. And you're going to realize you're in your dream. You're going to be like, what the? I'm really conscious in my dream. Telling you, it's like an amazing feeling to be conscious in your dream, because it's like the possibilities are limitless. It's just like, yes, what can I do now? But remember, please, just set your intentions beforehand. Set your goals beforehand. It will help you out. That way you're just not doing just stupid stuff in your dreams when you could be really making life-changing, you could be doing life-changing things, okay? So I thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate all of you. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you. And until next time, dreamers, dream